Okay, so I think I might have gone live before I intended to. However, hello to whoever might be watching out there. Let me see here. Maybe I should instead. Okay. Let's go back to that other webcam, actually. That works. Actually, that I'm gonna do something here. Okay, so my gosh, is there a better wallpaper? That's actually what I'm gonna go with. Okay, so I don't know who can. Okay, let's see if that. Let's actually log into Twitch over here and see what I can find. Hold it. My channel. Okay, good. Okay. So, I'm going to try a new concept tonight. First of all, I already have water, so I don't have to parch myself for the first 30 minutes until I want to take a break. Which reminds me, I should, before I forget, go into my Stream Deck. What's the difference between the regular Stream Deck and the MK2? Okay. Let's see here. Stream Deck timer. Okay, I want. Oh, I can't have a 30-minute timer. Oh dear. Okay, so how many? Okay, so 30 times. No, that's 1800. Okay. 1800. Okay, let's see if it will actually allow me to do, say, 30 minutes. Okay. So now, if I hit this, okay, it's counting down 30 minutes. I'm going to make sure that I don't go more than 30 minutes without taking a break. That's one of my goals for tonight. My other goal is to... Actually, I'm going to change. Well, I don't have to change the background on that one. Or that one. This one I need to change the background on. Alright. I want to edit the... What? Oh, the wallpaper. Change wallpaper to this here. Select... Okay, and then be right back. Oh, hang on. Save that. And then be right back. Also, edit wallpaper. Change. Okay, so now I should have all of the scenes set up the way that I like them. Okay. And then if I go to code with Cam, yes, you should be able to see me over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do tonight, so one, not going to go more than 30 minutes without taking a break, which means 28 and a half minutes. Second, I got the scenes. I think I've got them set up the way that I like them. Hopefully the music is not too loud. What? Hang on just a second. Okay. All right, so apparently I had my music muted. So that'll be number 3, is to make sure that my music is unmuted. And then number 4 is a new concept in the stream. Okay, well, first of all, I'm experimenting to try to find a good schedule, a consistent schedule. So that's number 4. And then eventually I'll get to the last point that I'm trying to make, which is that I'm going to use this stream for something a little different for a while. Actually, I should be able to log in here on Twitch. Shouldn't I be able to use... Shouldn't there be a mobile dashboard that I have available on here when I'm live? Well, the website says I'm live. Oh, okay. Okay, now that's interesting. So, excuse me. The website, when I'm live, has a green dot next to my name, yet the mobile app, apparently when I'm live, has a red dot next to my name. Great UX, folks. Okay, any rate. Stream Manager. Because... There we go. Okay. And in the future, I will have my iPad set up somewhere in the vicinity. And, this does not work in landscape mode. Okay, at any rate. Actually, maybe I should keep the chat on here. We'll see what happens. The chat's at the bottom of the screen. That's probably not a good idea to put it there. But for tonight, we're going to make it work. Okay. Now, let's see here. Use this. Oh, come on. Okay, then I want a Visual Studio window. Not a Visual Studio, but an Edge window over here. Okay. And we'll find something to do on that screen in just a minute. Okay, so, but the thing that I'm going to do here tonight, and this is the big thing, is that this stream's going to be used for something different. So I had a Twitter conversation with some folks earlier today about, even though I'm a fairly experienced speaker, and you know, and other people who are fairly experienced speakers have the same thing, same problem, is that, there we go, that's what I was looking for, is that, you know, we get in front of audiences live and talk about stuff, but when it comes to, and we don't really get nervous, but when it comes to live streaming, it's a completely different animal. And that's what I was going, and so that's what I'm going to, so I'm trying to figure out, okay, I want to get good at this live streaming thing because I want to make sure that I'm not dependent completely on in-person events. Because there's still, because even though some events are starting back up in person, I mean, I know that my friend Chad's doing CodePalooza Hybrid. TDevConf, by the way, TDevConf, on Monday, the call for speakers opens. I'll have that. I really need to get a banner set up on here. And there's one other thing I forgot to do. I need to make this I need to make this screen here much bigger. So, display settings. That's number 2. Scale it to 250%. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. That way, because I'm working on a 4K monitor here, and that way it'll be visible. And I'm probably, okay. But until I get more comfortable with this whole streaming thing, I'm going to, here's the thing, when I'm streaming, or when I'm speaking about anything, I feel like I need to speak authoritatively on it. So when I go to a conference, and also the other thing is that generally people, they're there, generally the attendees, they are not there to be entertained. Not that I'm really very entertaining anyway, but they're not there to be entertained. They are there to learn something. It's a professional, more formal capacity or more formal situation. Okay. And I feel like I'm trying to bring that into streaming as well, which is an environment that I am not as familiar with. So I decided, so in other words, if I'm concentrating on trying to do the stream and everything at the same time as I'm trying to be authoritative, it just kind of doesn't work. And that's one reason why it looks like I don't stream a lot, is because I end up deleting most of the VODs. I left the one that I did up last night, even though I didn't really like it. But I forced myself to leave it up. And so then today I was thinking, well, why don't I do something in which I don't have to speak authoritatively, or really maybe even can't speak authoritatively? So I thought, okay, I've been wanting to get back into ASP.NET. There's this little thing called Maui that's going to be GA'd sometime in the future. Maybe there's an event actually later this month that I don't know. I have no confirmation of this, but might be GA'd later this month. So I really want to be able to use Maui again, because I'm kind of getting tired of Flutter. There are things that I really like about Flutter. I love the fact that I can use Visual Studio Code, so I can use one IDE for everything. I really like the hot reload. I have mixed feelings about Dart. I kind of think that Flutter is an excuse to keep Dart alive in some ways, but you know, at the end of the day, Flutter works, or Dart works. But there's things that I don't like about it also, in that Flutter for the web, yes, it exists, but I'm not really sure that I don't know. And also Flutter on non-mobile devices, the desktop, and I don't even think you can target things like watchOS or tvOS. And with Xamarin you could do that. Now I don't know what's going to happen with Maui in that respect. I'm hoping that continues, and Maui would go on into Linux and things like this. But at any rate, however, there's also the other things with .NET. So ASP.NET. Which is obviously much bigger than Maui, especially if Maui isn't released yet. It hasn't gone GA at least. It went RC about a month ago. And the other thing about it is, and then also there's Blazor. Now, I love my Python. I love Python. Fast API is what I am super duper into at this moment. That seems a little loud. I'm going to take that down another couple of notches. I'm super duper into Fast API, but I do not like JavaScript. So when I learned about Blazor, I thought, wow, you can go full stack, C# and mobile. It's like, that could actually turn me into a web developer if I don't have to use JavaScript, because I liked Angular, and then it lost to React, which I don't like. Vue is okay, but even though Vue has more stars than React on GitHub, nobody's using it. From what I can tell, there's everything's going through React, and I don't like Facebook. I do not trust Facebook. Facebook has screwed developers over more than once. And I don't even use Facebook. I use Instagram sometimes, but that's like it. I mean, and I try not to use PyTorch. I probably will end up learning PyTorch. That might be another good thing to do on stream. But my point is, for the streaming stuff, or at least for a while, I'm gonna try to do this for the month. Is I'm only going to learn on stream. I'm gonna do things that I'm learning, so that way I don't have to feel pressured to speak authoritatively on something. All right, and also it'll give me a chance to experiment, and maybe water needs to go over here, to experiment and find a good, or at least a viable schedule. All right. With that in mind, I was originally planning, and I only decided to do this probably about an hour ago. I was originally planning to use Visual Studio Code with WSL. because, like I said, I think I've said it before, although the VOD is probably not up anymore, is one of the reasons that probably what finally convinced me to upgrade to Windows 11 is WSL. And it's fantastic, and I love the idea of going cross-platform, because I could just spin up a Vagrant VM on my Mac, and I could basically be in the same development environment. However, I decided I'm going to even go more into learning mode, and I'm actually going to use Visual Studio, an application that I have absolutely nothing against. Okay, if you are doing Wintel.net, which is what I'm going to be doing tonight, you should absolutely use Visual Studio. Everybody else should probably use Visual Studio Code. And yes, Visual Studio for Mac is out there, and I'm experimenting with it. There's also an RC out for that, which I like. I tried it out the other night, and I mean, it's, you know, the whole native Mac thing is going well. But I decided that I was going to go ahead and try Visual Studio. Okay. So first thing I got to do is find something to do. So let's look over here and let's go to our favorite docs.microsoft.com. I may just end up getting a book off of O'Reilly Learning and doing something. Let's see here. What is this? Create microservices with .NET and ASP.NET Core. Looks like I've already looked into this one. No, I don't think that's going to work right now. Let's see what else we can find here. So, ASP.NET. Interact with data in Blazor apps. Hold it, I want only learning paths. Migrate ASP.NET. Okay, hold it. Maybe it's still under ASP.NET Core. Let's go ahead and see all these are. So, create web apps and services. Have I worked through this one yet? No, I haven't. This might be a good one to do. Might be a good one to look at. I've already worked through part of this one, and of course, like I said, I've looked at this one. Okay, so this one. Let's start off with this one. Okay, create web apps and services with ASP.NET Core, Minimal API, and .NET 6. Okay, let's try that. Whoops, hang on. And it works with Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. Okay, recommended familiarity with .NET 6 and having a basic understanding of what an API is. Okay. And so this should take 1 hour and 23 minutes to go through the entire learning path. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so let's see here. So building a web API is a common task. You want to be able to serve some data and know how an application or service consumes it. How you build the API might differ vastly between tech stacks as part of building an API. You know there are parts like data storage, security, versioning, and documentation. Getting all these parts to work can be a complex undertaking. Another thing that I'm going to do is try to go much slower. Much slower. Okay. Okay, as part of your job, you build and maintain many APIs. You also experiment with new technologies to see if they're a good fit for your company's needs. You like frameworks that allow you to create an API with a few lines of code, because an early result makes for good conversation with colleagues and other stakeholders. You assume you can add more features later as the API grows in complexity. Okay. You'll learn to build a so-called minimal API using ASP.NET Core and .NET 6. Isn't it just ASP.NET 6? I don't know. As part of building your API, you'll add various route constructs to handle the reading and writing of data. You'll also add Swagger to ensure that you have a way to document your API. Something I really like about Fast API is the self-documenting code. Well, not code, but self-documenting API. All right. So the main goal, build a powerful API that supports reading and writing with just a few lines of code. So in other words, we're not going to write much code. All right, what is a minimal API? So support, so it can be complex because it supports many features, okay, and authentication. You begin with the .NET framework, which deliver many of the features you need, but those frameworks might require considerable setup. With minimal API for .NET 6, that's not the case. You can get started with just a few lines. Okay. So you're going to need to use .NET 6, and you need a text editor and an operating system. So, minimal API. If you've developed a .NET Core Web API, you've used an approach that uses controllers. Yes, and I'm familiar with that. The idea is to have a controller class method which represents various HTTP verbs, perform an operation to complete a specific task. For example, get products would return products using get as an HTTP verb. All right, so the minimal API here says there's no startup CS. So instead, all the tasks you're used to doing happen in program.cs, and tasks you're used to doing including setting up routes, dependency injection, security, and cores, and then top-level statements. Because minimal API uses .NET 6, you use top-level statements, and it says here's what a program looks like that doesn't use it. So this is where you've got the so the program class and the main method using statement. In other words, there's a lot of what you might consider noise, and this is all that you would need in a program with a top-level statement is simply the meat. Out of all this, with the exception of console.writeLine, is boilerplate. Okay. The minimal API uses this technique to bring down the number of lines you need to type. So to create an API, you use only 4 lines of code. So like it says here, there's no using statement, main method, or class, just the 4 lines of code. Routing is different. So routing looks slightly different compared to a controller-based web API. So in a web API, what you would have done before would be something like this. However, the minimal API, you have access to the app that you created up here, that you built up here, and then really, absolutely, there's really not much to it. Okay. So how do you get started? And on the command line, how do you get started with Visual Studio? I wanted to use Visual Studio. Don't you love how I came prepared tonight? Let me see here. Okay, so let's pop open Visual Studio and let's create a new project. Of course, I could. Let's see here. Okay, as you can see, I was looking at other things. WinUI is something that I might do someday. We'll see. All platforms, web API. Okay. Okay. We'll leave it at web application 1. Framework. I'm going to get rid of HTTPS. Here we go. Use controllers. Uncheck to use minimal APIs. Now, let me look at our documentation here. It doesn't say anything. This is for Swagger. So I'm going to go ahead and use Swagger. Okay, see how long this takes here? Done. All right. Can I assume? Okay, yeah. Okay, so it did a .NET restore for me. All right. And the files that you get are much like those you would get with a controller-based API, but when you look inside of I should have called it Pizza Store. Well, whatever. I didn't know if that was going to work or not. Any rate, pizzastore.cs proj. So where would that be? Probably if I right click, do something like edit project file. Ooh, that was a good guess. And that is huge font. We can take that font down. Is this where I do it? No. Somewhere else. Or maybe not. Text editor. General. Oh, there we go. Boy, that's 20? Any rate. Let's take it down to 14. That's good. That works. Well, I got it when I got the display scaled up to 250%. Okay. So, any rate, I think what it's talking about right here, this target, is that what it was saying? Yeah, when the target framework is net 6.0, then that's going to be, that lets you know you're using .NET 6. Okay, so program CS. Now, another thing I should probably do is start looking, try to learn the keyboard shortcuts. So if I want to okay, guess what? We won't worry about that right now. At any rate, we'll just go over here and double click on project program.cs rather. Okay. There we go. Okay, so there's so builder app, it adds a few things in here. Create the app map get, and then finally app run. Okay. As you add more features, you'll need to add using statements for simple API like that. So is it saying actually this should only be, well, how about this? Let's do this. Okay, so var builder equals web application. Oh dear. Come on. Dot create builder args. That's coming from somewhere. Okay, var app equals builder dot build. And then app dot map get. Okay. And then finally app.run. Okay. First two lines you create the builder. From the builder you create an instance application. Okay, the builder has a services property. So in other words, you could do you could add cores. So in other words, we could say, so I'm assuming that this would go here. Builder.services dot add cores. Okay, that takes a no, hold it, no. Oh, I see. I see. It takes options instead, but it doesn't do anything with them. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and then the get, and then... Okay. Alright. So, adding documentation with Swagger. Oh. I'm actually going to get rid of these for a minute. Adding documentation with Swagger. So, okay, you would need to install the package. However, if I recall, there is this thing called Manage NuGet Packages. And it's already installed. Okay, so Swashbuckle ASP.NET. So Swashbuckle ASP.NET Core. Alright. And here in about 1 minute and 40 seconds, I'm going to take a break. Alright, let's see here. So configure. After the package is installed, you configure it via your code. You add a few different entries. So add a namespace. You need to add this namespace. So using Microsoft Open API models. Oops. Using Microsoft.OpenAPI.models. Oops. And then add Swagger Gen. Okay, so Builder Services, Add Endpoints API Explorer. Let's separate some of this a little bit. Builder.services.add API, Add Endpoints API Explorer. And then add Swagger Gen. Okay, now this... Okay, so C is of type Swagger Gen Options. And then it says C Swagger Doc. V1 new Open API in. Oops, that should be right there. Come on. New Open API info. There we go. Okay, and as soon as I finish this, I will take a break. Title equals to do API. Description, keep track of your tasks. And version, what is V1? Okay. It is time for me to take a break, so I will be right back. All right. Where were we? Okay, so it looks like what happens here is you create a builder, you add services to the builder, you use the builder to create an app, you add routes to the app, and then you run the app. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so whoops. I'm doing Python. Create a web application builder. Okay. Add services to add services to the builder. Use the builder to build an application. Add routes to the application. And finally, run the application. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, there's a few more services here. So, okay, so add Swagger Gen sets up the header information on your API. Then use Swagger. Okay. So you now need to add the services, and now we need to use the services. So we'll say app use Swagger. No, I said app. Oh, no. We can only use the services on the app after. Yeah, okay. Okay, so use the services. So app dot, come on, app dot use Swagger. Okay, and then app use Swagger UI, and that tells it to use the API project. Tell the API project to use Swagger and also where to find the application. Okay, so app dot use Swagger UI. Okay, that's going to take a lambda C, which is going to be something like Swagger UI options. So this is Swagger Gen options up here, and this one is Swagger UI options. Okay. When I'm done here off stream, I'm going to I will try this out on. I'll try this out on VS Code for on Visual Studio for Mac and see how well and see how much of this kind of carries over. But at any rate, so the Swagger options. Okay, so first of all, this is going to be back to my screen. So Swagger endpoint. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. I'm just going to copy that. Okay, so C dot Swagger endpoint. And then, so URL, and then the name, and they call the name to do API version 1. Okay, to do API v1. Okay, doesn't matter, but I'm going to be precise. All right, what next? Okay, so at this point you can start the project and go to localhost 5000 Swagger. Okay, so let's start it and see if it crashes. Because I didn't do this exactly the way that it was recommended to do it, but let's see here. Okay, what was localhost? Wow, it worked. So it's hang on. No, I didn't open it. Okay. Go to localhost 5000 Swagger. Actually, it took me to a different place. Got too many windows. There we go. But if I go to localhost Yeah, it still works. Okay. All right. You see something like this. There's no to do. What did I miss? I missed something, didn't I? Well, I guess we'll add to do later. See, that's to dos. Okay, I guess we'll add. I guess we add to do later. But at any rate, if I go here and then click try it out, because I've done this in the past, and execute, I should get back hello world. Okay, awesome. So that worked. Okay. So next unit exercise, create a minimal API. I think I just did that. I may have just done this. Let's see here. Okay, I added Swagger. I just did that. Okay. Any rate, we will continue. So that was good. That was good practice. Okay, let's see here. 23.5 minutes until I take a break. Okay, so learn how to add routes and other advanced commands. So you now know more about what the minimal API is, but how do you build out your app and deal with things such as router parameters, posted bodies, returning more advanced data than a literal string. So here's how you map HTTP verbs to CRUD. I'm not going to go through that. HTTP verbs in the minimal API. Okay, so when a client initiates a request, it does so toward a server endpoint. I'm trying to remember. I need to find some kind of a Twitch plugin that will like every 10 minutes have a nice little toast somewhere that says slow down. To make sure they slow down. Imagine a request made towards get at localhost port 3000 rather products. The server verifies the request to see what HTTP verb is used. Okay, also needs to know where it's going. It's indicated by products. The server then attempts to resolve the request by producing a response. The minimal API handles routes and HTTP verbs by offering convenience methods. You can map a request by verb and route, with the route being products and a request to localhost 3000/products. And here is an example of such a convenience method. So this map get basically will map this route to this this lambda. Code should be read in the following way. If the client uses the get HTTP verb toward the route products, then respond with data. Okay. So fetch a resource. Okay, two major cases are good to know about. So just the route, or using a route parameter. And this is used to find a specific resource. If /products means a list of all products, product/1 means a specific record. And that is the unique identifier, which has the value of 1. And to handle that request, use a wildcard to match it. And you put ID in curly braces to capture the 1 in the preceding example. And you can also map the captured value to a parameter, as you're seeing here. Okay? Now, in this code, the ID parameter has captured the route parameter the client sent, which is the 1 in product/1 or the 11, whatever. In this request, it's product/1, and then ID is used to find a specific record right here. Okay. So if you want to create a resource, you use post, and so then the method uses map post. In this case, you would again have an endpoint /products, and then, however, product is a class that's being sent into the lambda, and what's happening is apparently it will serialize it and deserialize it to JSON automatically. Now, I'm sure there are constraints on what can and cannot be serialized and deserialized, but we'll get to that later. Oh, okay. And here's a class product, and it's using the record, which I have never used in C#. Let's see here. Let's see here. Record C#. And let's look at that real quick. Okay. Beginning with C#9, you use the record keyword to define a reference type that provides. Is this the same thing? This is like a data class. Yeah. Okay. This is like a data class, I think. Yeah. We actually looked at data classes a little bit last night. In Python, there's the data class keyword, or data class decorator rather, that you put on a class, and all you need to do is say, okay, you know, I would have a data class person, and I'd have a first name that's a string, last name that's a string, and then you get an initializer, and some other things. Okay. Put, similar idea, except you use map put, and you also what? And you also, well, hang on. And you would also again pass it a product of some kind that would be used inside of there. Okay. Removing a resource. Ah, Mr. Chad, I actually just mentioned CodePalooza. So good to see you, sir. Taylor & Code is my good friend Chad Green in Louisville, Kentucky, who runs a fantastic conference called CodePalooza, which is going to be in August, the 17th through the 19th, I believe. It's going to be at the Hyatt Regency again, I believe, isn't it? Which is an absolutely fantastic venue. I was there the last time that it was held in 2019. Trying to go this year. That's still up in the air for a few more days, but we'll see. But at any rate, Chad is doing the conference hybrid, so I should at least be. So hopefully we'll be there at least presenting hybrid. Yep, Hyatt Regency, and I mean, it's a really great venue. It's right on 4th Street where all the action is. 4th Street, which is kind of like the 6th Street of Austin, or the Beale Street of Memphis, or the Broadway of Nashville. It's a lot of fun. Great places to eat and stuff down there. So yeah. Actually, let's see here. Let's go ahead and say, I believe it's. Well, hang on. I'll put it over here first in the browser. CodePalooza.com, and then I shall also put it in. The chat here. Okay. Yeah, but this will be 105 days. So enjoy the return to in-person. Help make the return to in-person a huge success. All right, so back to what I was working on. So delete, so remove a resource. This is kind of similar to get using a route parameter, except you're using map delete. The ID will be passed in here. The ID will be captured rather by the route parameter and passed to the handler. And then in here, you would do whatever you need. So technically, you could be a really, really bad person, I guess, and there's nothing. I guess in other words, what I'm saying is .NET does not force you to delete, to have the handler for this actually perform a delete, but you should, to be nice. Chat paused due to scroll. What? Whatever. Okay, so by default, when you respond with certain types, the framework recognizes that these types should be serialized as JSON, and here's some cases. Right, as we saw before. So, like I was saying up here, this will serialize from JSON to a class, or at least that's what I'm guessing. And down here, this will take classes, which would be products or single product here, and it will and it will serialize them to JSON. Okay. So now, okay, so here, and so in other words, what it's saying is that if you ask for a list of all products, it would give you something similar to this. If you want just a single product, then it would return this, but it still returns it in an array. That would be an array in JSON. Okay. And then for this one, I'm not really sure. Oh, okay. In this case, what would happen is, regardless, it's always going to return an anonymous object. If I'm not an anonymous, is that an anonymous object in C#? I forget. But at any rate, that has a property of that has a property of IB equal to 1. My C# terminology is a long time ago since I used my C# terminology, and so that would just return. But that's interesting because singular default should return just 1. So why does it return it in an array? Seems to me that should just return an object, like this does down here. Okay, at any rate. Next unit. So we're going to actually add the routes. I didn't try to type them as I was going this time. And it is 13 minutes until I must take a break. Okay, so first of all, you're going to need to add some data. Okay, so we're going to do a little typing here. I'm going to actually, to make this go faster, I'm going to move this back over to this screen. You'll be able to see the code eventually. All right, let's stop this. Okay, and so it's saying to put this into a file named dbcs. Okay, so I'm going to add a new item. I'm assuming this will be a class. Actually, can I just have an empty C# file? Why can't I just have an empty C# file? Add. Well, I guess what I'll do is I'll just create a class. And delete everything inside of it. Okay, so this is another, I do remember this. This is another new feature in C# 10, if I'm not mistaken, is that, and I'm actually going to do web application 1.db, is that you don't have to have the curly braces. What? Is that a ReSharper thing, or is that a Visual Studio thing? It should still work. I think it'll still work. You don't have to have the curly braces around the entire, around all the code in the namespace. And this is actually very similar to how something like, I believe Kotlin would do this. So, okay. So here's that record, which again, I believe is like a data class in Python. Public record, pizza. Okay, and can I do the props? Yes, I can. Okay. I guess that should be kind of my other goal, since I am going to go ahead and try to use Visual Studio, is that I'll to go ahead and use ReSharper as well. But let's see here. So let's do a prop. It's gonna be a string name. Now this, does that mean it's nullable? Okay, I'm going to assume that means it's nullable. I really like the top level namespace and good. Yes, well, this is, yeah, Chad, this is another thing that C# has. Well, in this case, it learned this particular trick. I believe it learned it from Kotlin and even earlier Java. But yes, and also Python, getting rid of all the syntactic, what you could consider syntactic noise, with all the curly braces. Let's see here. So if I do class and PizzaDB, now ReSharper should give me a way to make this public, shouldn't it? To public, yes. Okay. All right, and then private static list, okay, of pizzas. Ooh, they're also learning. They're also learning by making these private, by making private member or preceding private members with an underscore. No. Okay, I just did something weird. I just did something weird ReSharper-ish that I don't understand. But at any rate, new list of pizza, and then I'm going to copy and paste. Okay, so we got. All right, so that's going to give us, that's our database, so to speak. And then they're going to be, it's kind of like a light, it looks like it's a kind of very lightweight repository in a way. So, okay. So, public static list of pizza, get pizzas. And then we'll just return all the pizzas in the list. And then we'll do a public static. Okay, I don't know why in the world they have the question marks. See, in the lesson has it like this, has the question, see, has the question mark, has a space before the question mark. However, when I try to save the file, well, no, it doesn't. But however, I think it's supposed to be like that. Okay. Or it could be like that. Okay, so this will just return pizzas dot single or default, and then there will be, we're going to match a pizza that has a pizza ID, that has an ID equal to, double equal to the ID passed in. Okay. All right, we'll be able to create a pizza. This is going to return a pizza. And then pizzas.add, add the pizza, and then return the pizza. Okay. And then public static pizza again. This time we're going to update a pizza. And a pizza to update. Okay. then Pizza DB. Dang it, come on. Come on. Pizza DB. Thank you. Okay, we want to create a pizza. And that will be... Oh, okay, that'll be the pizza that was passed in, or that was... Or rather, that was converted from JSON. Oh, it has... Okay, hang on. The handler has to take a pizza. Okay. Okay, now we got it. Okay. And then the update is going to be very similar. It's just going to be map put. And this will be, what, update pizza? Yeah, update pizza. And then finally, app.map delete. And that'll be the same pattern of pizzas slash the ID route parameter, and then int ID, which will now say pizzadb dot remove pizza with a particular ID. Okay. And now, if we run the application, let's see what comes out the other end. Okay. So. Alright, there. Okay, so if I do this first one here, this should get all of the pizzas. So if I say try it out and execute. Oh, no. That's Hello World, sorry. It should be this one here. Try it out, execute, and there's all the pizzas. So IDs 1, 2, and 3. I can then get a pizza with a specific ID, so try it out. So if I want to get pizza number 2, it should return only pizza number 2. Alright. Let's copy this. Nope, I want to copy just this. No, just that. No, without the response body, thank you. And then let's create a new pizza. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It gives me the code that all I need to do is. Now, in this case, you have to explicitly create a new ID, but you'll say new, hit execute, and the response that comes back, no response. Okay, there we go. Response body has the newly created pizza. If we go back up here to get all pizzas, we have pizza number 4. If I want to update, I'll use put, and I'll say I want to, whoops, I have to try it out to make that editable. And instead we'll say newer, execute. And so now if I go back over here and ask for pizza 4 again, now it's newer. And I can go down here to delete. And this is the one I'm not sure if it's going to work because this is the one I modified. Because I think there may have been a typo. 4, execute. Okay, nothing was returned, but nothing... There was no response, but there was nothing returned by the method either. So let's get all... Ah, okay. And it is indeed gone. Okay. So, like I said, I think that was a typo. Let me ask them about that. As to a beginner, that can be very frustrating. All right. All right. Let's go back over here to our knowledge check. All right, what isn't a difference between controller-based APIs and minimal? Okay. I think it's that. And the correct way to create a minimal API is web. The correct way to set up a route would be map-get. Yep. Okay. Awesome. So that is the that's the module. I'm not going to read through this, but I'm going to go on to the next. So now we can go on to the next module here, which is using a database with EF Core. Before I do that, I want to do a couple things. I want to make a couple changes to my Stream Deck here. Oh, that is okay. Because that's the other thing I am really trying to make a point is to use this Stream Deck. I've had it for almost 3 years. In fact, I think I have had it for 3 years. And I don't use it as to the fullest extent that I should. Okay. So one thing I want is I want right here, I want another timer for 5 minutes, which would be 300 seconds. Let's say 5 minutes. Maybe I should do 25. I don't know. Maybe I should do 25 and 5, more Pomodoro-ish. And then inside of Twitch Studio, isn't there a... There's one to mute the audio, but not the mic. Okay, I'll have to play around with that. Okay. Alright, let's start the next module. So, introduction. You build a web app. Oh, and I also need to find a plugin or something that will remind me gently to slow down and keep the pace nice and slow or slower. Okay. Build a web application that deals with data. Most likely want to store that data in a database. Unfortunately, minimal APIs built on ASP.NET Core can be easily integrated with a large variety of databases by using Entity Framework Core. And scenario, okay, so we've already seen that. What will you learn? The main goal, okay. Entity Framework Core. I know what Entity Framework Core is. And then the context class, and then use. So what you do is you create a context class, and then what you use the DB, you use DB sets to map to tables. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. Does this start all over again? It starts all over again? You're kidding me. Alright, fine. Well, this time I'll start and I'll actually use Pizza Store. Okay. Alright, so we did this last time. I want to use Pizza Store. And make sure this is unchecked to use the minimal APIs, and I'm going to get rid of HTTPS as well. Okay, I want to take off these headphones to make my ears hot. Alright. Okay, get rid of this. And let's go back to the... Okay, so this time... I included already the ASP. I also included the ASP.NET Core support, so I don't need to go through. Okay, so let's create. This time I'm going to put the. So the models namespace. I'm going to put this in a new folder called models because I think that's what it expects. And if you were using Visual Studio Code, it might not complain. I'll have to try that and see. But anyway, it's called pizza.cs. Add a class. Call it pizza.cs. Okay, now I'm going to modify this a little bit to where I don't have to use the namespace, to use the top of the namespace or whatever that's called, the minimal name. I don't know. This new style namespace. Let's call it that. Okay, and I need an integer ID, not print, prop. Integer, that's an ID. And then I need a nullable string name. And then a nullable string description. Okay. And that is going to be the model. So now program CS, which is actually going to be a lot fuller than it needs to be, but okay, so using Microsoft Open API models, got our builder. Get rid of this here. Okay, so add Swagger Gen is going to take this lambda. Okay, so C Swagger doc. So C Swagger doc. And that'll take. Oh, okay, so that'll be the name. So that's the name of the, what does it say? That was the name of the API. And then the Open API info. Okay, so it said that V1 was the name. And then new Open API info. Title Pizza Store API. Description, making the pizzas you love. And then version V1. Okay. And then down here, use Swagger and use Swagger UI, and this takes again the Swagger UI options. Okay, and then the Swagger endpoint, which will be the URL and then the name, and then so /Swagger, so Swagger v1 / Swagger.json, Swagger .json, and then what was it? Pizza Store API v1. Okay. And then that's okay. Then we can get rid. Okay, and then I think everything else before app.run we can get rid of. Oops, including that, and then also get rid of that. All right. Yeah, this is intended to be used with Visual Studio Code. So okay, so adding EF Core to the project. Here we go. So the Entity Framework Core in-memory package. So if I right-click and do Manage NuGet Packages and browse for Entity Framework Core .in-memory, right here. Install that. Accept the license agreements. 12 minutes till I take a break. Okay, so now that you've got EF Core added to the project, wire up the code and create the DB context. So the the pizza DB class, which is the DB context, will do the following task: expose the pizza's property down here, and it'll use in-memory database to wire the in-memory database storage. Okay, so go back to the pizza class. Oh, I see. Okay, this threw me off. It said above the final curly brace. Remember that the code that the documentation provides uses the namespace for curly braces. So, oh, hey Chris, how you doing? What did you miss? Well, you're missing me. You missed quite a bit of me fooling around trying to learn how to use Visual Studio. Again. I'm just trying to get used to streaming. So I figured if I did something that I knew I was going to mess up anyway, that it would make me less likely to get frustrated with streaming. So, but thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. So this is probably gonna be a lot of stuff that you already know, but hopefully you'll get entertainment out of seeing me mess up, and also talk about how often it is that I have to take breaks, because I'm making sure that I take a break every 30 minutes, and that I drink water. Fall on the sword approach. That's right. By the way, so Freestyle Coder is my friend Chris Gardner from Huntsville, and he's actually going to be speaking at my .NET user group, or the .NET user group that I help run later this month. We got to get that set up so that we can start to promote that better. And also, well, Chad knows this because he's one of the organizers. But Chris, the call for speakers for TDevConf opens on Monday. It's going to be on September 30th, and it's going to be virtual again. So, I believe you've spoken the last 2 years, if I'm not spoken. So, like to see you go for the hat trick again. So, but okay, so 9 minutes here, and what I'll do is I'll add the DB context in here. Okay, here we go. So pizza DB context. Okay, so public class pizza DB context. Now did that? Okay, and that automatically added the using for me. Okay. So I need a constructor that will take a DB context options. Okay, cool, awesome. Look forward to Chris gives, if you want to geek out, Chris gives great talks to geek out on. I mean really. It's well, you know, there's somebody in the room who could kind of give you some inside information on CodePalooza, probably. But yeah, SCS. Yeah, that's another thing I should mention. Is I should also mention Scenic City Summit. That's coming up. Let me check on something real quick about Scenic City Summit. Okay, so the CFP for Scenic City Summit. Here, I can put now. I'll pull this over here on the main screen. Of course, I think we're the only 3 people in here. So, well, y'all two are the only. So there's 3 viewers. Chad and Chris, you're 2 of them, and the third one I believe is the Stream Elements user. But at any rate, this was supposed to have closed on May 1st, I believe, and it looks like they did go ahead and extend it another 2 weeks. But this is going to be in July 22nd in Chattanooga, at the Chattanooga Convention Center in downtown Chattanooga. That's where, if you remember DevLink, that's where DevLink was, and Scenic City Summit's been here for a number of years. Downtown Chattanooga, just as much fun as downtown Louisville. So again, great venue, great conference. I also help organize Scenic City Summit in addition to TDevConf. So hopefully we'll see some folks there. Okay. Yeah, well, since I yeah, SCS is a lot. I mean, like I said, downtown Louisville, and I was that's one of the things I was really miffed I had to pull out of Code Stock, because downtown Knoxville also a lot of fun. Also unfortunate that I'm not going to DevUp. I'm going. I really. Are you still trying to do in person for DevSpace? And while the lag catches up on the stream, I will go ahead and add the DB set for the pizzas. So I'll do a prop public DB set. No. Pizzas. No, hold it. DB, hang on. That would be a DB set. Of pizza. And they'll be called pizzas. Okay? And... okay, so now... in program.cs, you go back over here and you add the pizza store models to the top using pizzastore.models. Okay. All right, now so you're going to have to add a service for the DB context. It says right before the call to add Swagger Gen. And why it has to go there, why couldn't it go up here? So we'll say builder.services.add.db context, and that probably is going to be generic on PizzaDB. Yeah, we actually tried last week when we were discussing the final date for TDev. We did everything we could to avoid the dates that we had the dates that you and I had talked about, and I think going at the end of September, I think we accomplished that goal. Well, I can't type today. What in the world? OPT options. Thank you. And then this is going to say what? Options in memory. Yeah, options use in memory database. Use in memory database. And I guess that's the name of the database? Yeah, items. Okay. And did I include the semicolon? No, I did not. Okay. So now I'm just going to map. Okay, so now let's go down here. Alright, so app. Thank you. .map get pizzas. Okay, and then the handler should just That's interesting. I was not expecting that. Okay, so async pizza db and then await db dot pizzas dot to list a sync. So also, to anybody who might be watching this now in the future, Chris does a fantastic conference in Huntsville every year in like the last quarter of the year called, well, no, it's not the last quarter. September would actually be Q3, but called DevSpace. Also a really fun town to visit. Huntsville is another really town. Huntsville is another really fun town to visit. What? Oh, look, a full screen I can read and a real keyboard to type on. I was on my phone earlier. Okay. Well, see, now here's the thing, Chris. I knew you were coming. I knew that you were coming, so I made sure that I made sure to bump my font size up because I work on September 8th to 9th this year. Okay. I didn't want to mention the dates because that we had talked about because I didn't know if you were still going to use those, but we made sure to avoid September 8th and 9th so we didn't get in conflict, so we didn't have a conflict with DevSpace. Okay. All right, so I've got about 9 seconds before I have to take a break, and I'll come back and we'll see about building out the rest of this API. So now I will Okay, so I'm just getting more water here with this. Let's see here. Electrolytes Propel. I understand that electrolytes help rehydrate faster. At least that's what the commercials say. Let's headphones back on here. That's another thing that I'm hoping will help extend my stream endurance ability is better hydration. So using my Pie Tennessee mug here. Pie Tennessee is what plants really crave. Oh. I'm not a plant. I am an animal, not a vegetable. Are in action. Okay. So let's see what's next. Okay, so run this. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, okay. I haven't seen the movie. I don't watch a lot of movies. Okay. Yeah, and here's the cool thing, and Chad and Chris again, thanks for stopping by, because I've been on almost 2 hours and it doesn't seem like it. So this should return an empty list. Yes, because there is nothing in the database. Okay, great. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so next we're going to add. So next we'll be able to create new items. So we're going to. So is that DB context? Is that in? I guess. Oh, okay. Because normally the way that you would have done it is you would have injected it into the controller. Is you would have injected the context class into the controller class. So I guess now what it's doing is injecting it into the handler. I'm that's a complete and total guess. I really don't know if that's what it's doing. But let's see here. App.map_host. Okay, and that'll actually be the same pizzas. Okay. And so now this one, async, it'll be a pizza DB class, as well as a pizza to be saved. Whoa. My keyboard's too close to the edge of the desk. Alright, and so that's going to do 3 things. So first of all, it'll add the pizza. So await db.pizzas add async. And then we need to do an await db. I'm thinking that needs to be an await db. Save changes async. Okay, save changes async. And then this here, return results created. Okay, so if I'm remembering REST, it's supposed to return a reference to where the new item can be found. So that's apparently what's going on here. So return results.created. I'm gonna give you the squiggly. That always freaks me out. Okay, so that would be /pizzas, and then the newly created pizza .id. What else was there? Oh, and then the pizza itself. Okay. And then I need at the end here. Well, that's actually what async pizza is. See, async means you don't have to wait for it. Well, actually, async means async means you'll get it later, but you don't have to wait on it. But you get async means you'll get it eventually, but you don't have to. But you can do other things while you're waiting. I guess is what async pizza would be. I guess sync pizza would mean you call for delivery and you have to wait by the door until the delivery person arrives. It's delivery. It's so much more fun when friends come in the chat. Okay. So let's run. Okay, so run this, and we'll get our. Okay, so we got our post here, and it says to replace with. It gave us some sample JSON to use over here, so we can just copy this. And we'll go back to Swagger UI, because and this does not contain. Oh, it doesn't contain an ID because the ID is auto increment. Okay. Primary should be the primary key. Okay, so execute this, and here's what we get back. We get back a 201, which is created, and it's now been assigned an ID. And the headers, the location. Okay, the location where it's supposed to be, where you can find this new pizza at pizza/1. Okay. Excellent. Wait by the exactly, yeah. You have to wait by the door and do absolutely nothing else. All right. So, oh well, actually, I could have gone back. We'll do that. We'll do that next time. Read the items in the list. Okay. So to get an item by ID, you can just do another map get. And do instead of get all by async, let's see here. Let's copy this one here down, and let's do pizzas/ID, and this should have an int ID, not if but ID, and this should be find async. Find async, and this will be, we'll say pizza such that, no, I want pizza with a lowercase p, such that pizza with, so that the ID of pizza is equal to the ID supplied. Oh, hold it. Oh, find async just takes an ID alone. Okay, whatever. Okay. So let's now run this, and we're going to add that pizza again. You know what I didn't do? I didn't start my timer. Darn it. Okay. So, any rate, let's post this pizza. Post this pizza. Okay. Actually, I think I added it twice. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll have more pizzas to look at. Yeah, I added it twice by accident. So, but now if I go down here to pizza's ID, I should be able to try it out, ask for pizza number 1, and get back pizza number 1. Okay, exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, I don't know what I did there. Okay. Moving right along, let's moving on to updates. So, update is quite a bit more complex. So we're going to use put, and this one will take. This will take the pizza DB, the DB context class. It'll create the pizza, the information for the updated pizza, and also the ID of the pizza that we want to update. Okay, so let's get this started. Let's go down here, app.map put, and that'll be pizzas/ID, and then we'll have async pizza DB. Ah, come on. There's got to be a way to get around that. No, hang on. Okay, and then it's going to have a pizza, which will be the pizza update is what I'm going to call it. And then the ID. Dang it. All right. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is find the pizza in question. Var pizza equals await. Await. Okay, we'll use that from last time. And then, so we need to make sure that the pizza is not null. Return results not found. Okay, that makes sense. If the pizza is found, we can proceed with the update. So the pizza that we found, we just copy these values over. Pizza dot so pizza.name equals update pizza. I'm sorry, pizza update dot name, and pizza.description equals pizza update dot description. And then finally, probably need to do a save changes, and then return results no content. Okay. Await db dot save changes async, and then return results dot no content. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and do the delete. All right. And it's the same. It's actually pretty much the same. I'm just going to do this. I'll do a put delete. And then all I need here is an ID. And then we should be able to say await db dot, what would it be? Remove db dot pizza. I don't have to await that. Why don't I have to await that? Hold it. Huh, remove is not done async. Interesting. So I don't need, okay. That's not async. But anyway, remove the pizza. And that at any rate, that should finish up the API. Okay, so next use the SQL database provider with the F-Core because you're using in-memory here. We're going to do that migrations. All right, so add the NuGet package for the database provider, create the connection, add the service, and then do migrations. Okay. All right, so the package that I need is Entity Framework Core.SQLite. Entity Framework Core.SQLite. Okay, so manage NuGet packages. Entity Framework Core.SQLite. There it is. Install. Accept all the agreements. Okay, next. install the tools. Now, is there a way... you get Package Manager console. So what is it? .NET tool install global.NET EF. What? Okay, so .NET tool install global.NET EF. Okay, so it says it worked. And then now I got to go back and get into the framework core.design. Install that. That's weird. Oh, I gotta accept the license agreements. And then... Okay, so enable database creation. Okay, is this going to go into how to... Because I remember there's, if you go into, what is it, app settings.json, you can actually create your connection strings there. So, okay, so let's go into program.cs and say connection string equals, so what is it? Builder configuration. Connection string. For what is it? Pizzas. That would get it out of app settings.json. And if that's null, then just say data source equals pizzas.db. Okay, data source equals pizzas.db. Okay. And that would be a SQLite database that will be created when the migrations are performed. Okay. Okay, so we're going to comment this one out. If I remember, it was KC. Yes. Awesome. And this is going to be replaced by builder.services.add-SQLite of PizzaDB context. And the connection string was named connection string. Okay, now we can go back into the package manager console, I think, and run a .NET EF migrations add initial create. .NET EF migrations add initial create. No project was found. Okay. Let's see what happens if I do this. Don't tell me that. That was a complete total guess. That worked. I don't believe it. No, not that. That was a complete and total guess. I mean, I had a little help. It did tell me to use the project option, but that's a complete and total guess. All right, I'm happy. Create your database and schema. So now .NET EF database update. Am I going to have to do that again? .NET EF database update. It's going to tell me no project. All right, fine. .NET EF data. Can I go here? I'm pretty sure I can't. Where did I put it here? I did it after migrations. Yeah. Okay, I can probably do it after database. Oops, wrong way. -- project pizza store. And somewhere over here, we'll see a pizzas.db come up. Perfect. And then we can run and test the application. Okay, so now we'll do this. This will come up again. And of course, right now there are no. Of course, right now there are again no pizzas because there's nothing in the database. But if we were to create a pizza, and name, cheese, cheesy. Execute. Oh, I did it twice again. Okay, guess what? That's a good opportunity to see if delete works. Get rid of ID 2. Execute. Okay. Now what happens if I try ID 10? Okay, yeah, it gives me the 404. Okay. Yeah, that's right, because the code says to return a not found, which would be a 404. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is this should persist. So if I stop the application and go back over here to pizzas, try it out, execute, we should still get pizzas. Okay, so we're persisting to an actual database now. All right. And I think that might be the end of this module, yes. Okay, so let's see here. What's the following statements is true about Entity Framework Core? It's the only way to access. No, it's guaranteed to allow switching databases. And that's this one here. Which of the following statements describes how an entity class is used? It's this one, and then the SQLite database. That's this one here. Okay. All right. So the summary, I'm not gonna rehash that. All right. So what's left here? Create a full stack application by using React. It's 11:30 p.m. Do I really want to use React? Do I really want to write React? Things are going so well. Do I really want to use JavaScript? What I really want to do is I want to do Blazor. Okay, so here's the thing. I probably took 15 minutes before I realized that I had not hit the button. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'll come right back, and then I will, and then I'll decide whether I want to do React or maybe try Blazor. So, be right back once again. Okay, there we go. It's back. All right. I guess. All right. What I'll probably end up doing is copying and pasting React. And this may not work. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so what are you going to do? You'll build a front end for your minimal API app. All right, so design a front end for your app. Select a framework. I'm going, again, I'm just going to go through this very quickly just to see if it actually works. So here's what a component can look like in React. All right. Okay, playing your front end app, master detail. Okay, so here was actually, yeah. Are you serious? No, here we go. Okay. Let's actually hang on. Okay, I'm gonna do something else here. I'm gonna do this part in Visual Studio Code just because you're supposed to be able to take anything done. I can't see. You're supposed to be able to take a solution done in Visual Studio and open it in Visual Studio Code. So open up my terminal here. Oh, this should be doing this over here. Okay, so that would go into, what is it? Repos? Oh, shoot. Where is that? Hold it. Where does that go? Oh, okay. So it goes source / repos / pizza store. Okay. Okay, so now I should be able to do a code dot. And it should open up Visual Studio Code. Now, remember. That didn't work. Oh, well, that's interesting. Unable to. OmniSharp server is not running. What's this? Starting OmniSharp server. Now it's running. No, I don't want to view that. Okay, so now I should be able to generate the assets, right? Ah, there we go. Okay, so yes, I do want to do that. And there's a problem. What is it not like? Oh, okay. It's probably something that... Okay, so something that I already knew about. So now if I go over here, can I... Will it actually work? What happened? Okay. I think I know what might be going on here. No, hold. That would be in... Is it in here? No. Oh, where is it that it puts the ports? Ah, launch settings. That's where it was. Puts the ports. Okay, so this is 5188. Why not? Oh, that's because I have to go to the Swagger. I have to go to the Swagger. I have to go to Swagger. There we go. And actually, my pizzas should still be in my database. And it is. Okay, great. Okay. So I can now keep working here. Okay. So it says first npx create. Am I supposed to be doing? Let's keep going ahead just a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna copy and pasting a lot here. Okay. Actually, oh no, I should be able to create. I should be able to do a new terminal. Okay, so let's see here. All right, I don't know if npx create React app, pizza web. It's fine. Okay. This is another reason I don't like React or JavaScript in general, which is why my eventual goal is to learn Blazor. Okay, so I do not know if that went in the right place or not. So start the app by calling pizza. Okay, so cd pizza web, and then yarn start. Did it say? Okay, npm start. See, that's normally how I would do it. It may have said up here somewhere to install yarn, but... Okay, so 3000, and we'll see that little nuclear react, yeah, the little atom. Okay. Create a file, main.js. Where? I guess in here. And then copy all this stuff into it. Add some CSS. No, I'm not going to add any CSS. Or hold it. I think I'm going to actually... Okay, hang on. I think in order to... Okay, that's my... Alright. Okay, so if I do... So what would it be for npm? Npm install... Style components. Okay, got that right. I got a Windows firewall alert. Did I click the wrong thing? Because this looks like it stopped. long. So, all right. So I'm going to stop here, and I will come back. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find that scene that I created. Well, hold it. Where's my scene? Oh, I don't have that on my stream deck. Okay. At any rate, so this VOD I'll leave up even with my embarrassing React mistake that I made, because that was actually kind of anticipated. And like I said, this was not necessary. Although I did learn a lot about the .NET 6 Minimal Web API. And by the way, next month in June at the .NET User Group here in Memphis, we're going to have Paul Sheriff, who is going to talk about just that topic. So you can go on meetup.com and find the Memphis.NET User Group. Okay, and find that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I'm getting punchy. I'm getting tired. So, and then I don't know if I'll be able to stream again tomorrow night. I'm hoping that I will. And I don't know if I'll do new Python stuff. I'll probably just continue to do new .NET stuff and maybe get into Blazor tomorrow night. What I'm thinking about doing is for this month, so I can get my stream endurance built up, is just kind of get back into .NET this month, and then reserve YouTube for the prepared stuff for Python that I actually have content for. All right, so thanks to Chris and Chad and everybody else who dropped by, and I'll see you later.